skip the embarkation day buffet, skip the fireworks, and honestly, skip Castaway Cay. Yeah, I said it. Today I'm breaking down Disney Cruise Line hot takes that might get me banned from the Mickey pool. Number 1, the shows on a Disney cruise are fantastic, but they are not Broadway caliber. Having seen actual multiple Disney Broadway shows in New York City, the Disney Cruise Line shows, don't get me wrong, they are incredible, absolutely incredible, but they do not match New York City standards. Now, I have seen The Little Mermaid, I've seen Aladdin, Frozen, Newsies, Mary Poppins, and The Lion King. So that means I've seen The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Frozen both on Broadway in New York City and on the Disney Cruise Line ships. And again, while the cruise line shows are fantastic, I can compare apples to apples, and the ones in the city are just far superior. That said, still go see the shows, they're still awesome. Number 2 is to skip the fireworks. Yeah, I'm going there. I know people love the fireworks and they're like the fireworks at sea, but a lot of times it's like super late when you see them. And like, I don't know about you, but I have 3 kids, you know, right now they're 2, 4, and 6. So to stay up that late with little kids, it's really tough. And honestly, like, I don't feel like we're missing much. Or you can do what we did on our last cruise where we met Captain Hook and Smee and also Chip and Dale in a very small window. So while the fireworks were going on, we got to meet 4 characters, 2 and 2, in a really short amount of time. Number 3 is that the Aqua Mouse and the Aqua Duck are not worth the wait. The Aqua Mouse is marketed as the first Disney attraction at sea, but it's ultimately just a water coaster with a screen. It's not worth a long line. And the Aqua Duck, that doesn't even have screens. So yes, they're super fun, and if the line is short, absolutely. We rode it back to back on our last Disney cruise because there was no line. But typically if there's a long line, I would not waste your time. I would try to either go really early or when it's just like at an emptier time, like if people are on Castaway, that's a good time to go on. So try to go on when there's minimal lines, because if you wait for an hour, I just don't think it's worth it. Alternatively, the Aqua Dunk on the Disney Magic, absolutely worth the wait. It's super fast, yes, but it is so much fun. And actually I did not wait. I went back to back and I didn't wait either time, but I'd say it's worth the wait. Super fun. Number 4 is that Pirate Night is better on the older ships. So on the Magic, there's like just one pirate show. You just have like the main one with the Disney characters, versus like on the newer ships, you have like that show earlier, which is like so tough to get to because you're at dinner, then you got the pirate show, then you got to go to the nighttime show, where I just felt like it was a little more rushed. We're on like the older ships. Now, the downside is that it's later, like the show I think didn't start till 10 and my kids were falling asleep, but it's just a better show, I think, overall. They're pretty similar, but you don't have like the dance party, which I would skip the dance party because just too loud for me. Number 5, and I feel like this is gonna be a real big one, my hot take on dining on the Triton class. I am not a fan of Pridelands, which I know people are gonna like come at me for, but I'm not a fan of Arendelle either, and probably not for the reasons you're thinking. I would have preferred to, especially for Pridelands, to have seen that Lion King show not at dinner, because unless you have a seat close to the stage, you're not really getting to see the show. We were to the side and just like couldn't really see it. On the Wish at Arendelle, we also had like an extremely obstructed view, so we couldn't even like enjoy the show. Also, I really don't like listening to the loud noise while I'm eating. Like I'm not someone that enjoys dinner shows, so I would much rather have just had like how it was like on the second night we were at Pridelands, like much quieter, and then like been able to have gone to see that Lion King show in like Saga or something. I think I would have really, really enjoyed seeing that show separate from dinner. Same thing with the Arendelle show. I just think it would have been better not at dinner. Number 6, Lookout Cay is superior to Castaway Cay. I feel like that's a super unpopular opinion and hot take here, but I actually did just do an entire video on Lookout versus Castaway, so you guys can like get like my full view and feelings on that. But yeah, hands down, Lookout is the superior island. I'll link that video down below, and if I remember, I'll put a QR code up here as well if you want to click on that, but I'll link that video down below. But I stand by that Lookout, especially if you have kids, the superior island. Number 7 is that Nassau is no longer an empty ship day. So I feel like when I first was going on a Disney cruise back, we were supposed to go in 2019 before the pandemic happened. I was watching a ton of vlogs and people were like, oh, stay on the ship on the Nassau day, you'll have an empty ship. And then when we finally did go on our first cruise in spring of 2023, and then we've gone on 3 since then, so we've been on 4 total. Anytime we've had a Nassau day, the ship is not empty. It's like a sea day, so I feel like that tip is old news. Number 8 is that the photo package is 1000% worth it. We didn't do it on our first 2 cruises. I totally regret it. As a mom, I'm like never in any pictures. My camera roll is full of my kids, my dog, and my husband, and like never me unless it's a selfie, and I don't want selfies. I want like pictures I'm in. So I think that the photo package, while it is pricey, is absolutely worth every cent. Number 9 is that the layouts of the older ships is superior to the Dream and the Wish. I think that the layout is just so much more compact. I think it's super easy to navigate. My only thing is that where we were on the Magic, you had to walk through the adults only area to get to the other side of the ship where the food was. So that would be my only negative there. But for the most part, I felt like the Magic was just so much easier to navigate, so much, smaller, and I just loved it so much more, like being able to get around the ship. I think it was only like 10 decks versus like 14 or 15 on the other ships. So sorry, not sorry, I like the Magic better. Number 10 is that there is way too much real estate given to the adults only area. Yes, I know, I'm going on vacation with kids, and if I were going on vacation without my kids, I probably would not want to be around kids the entire time I was on vacation. So I do like that they do have an adults only area for the adults, but I just think it's too much real estate and not in the best places. Like on the Magic, like I just said, you had to walk through the adults only area to get to the food, which we only started doing like the last day. Like the first few days we avoided it, and then we were like, forget it. Like this is ridiculous that we can't like walk up a flight of stairs and walk to the food. So we just like walked through and our kids were quiet. But still, we just felt like too much real estate. And then like on the Wish and the Destiny, first of all, where it's located, it's nice that it's out of the way, but it just feels like you don't need that much space for the adults. Like, did that many adults go there? You gotta let me know in the comments down below. I think it's great that they have Cove Cafe, a place you can get away from the kids. I think some of the deck areas are nice, but I just think it's like, it's too much. Just too much. Number 11 is that I love that they don't have casinos, because I feel like that would be like valuable real estate taken up. If you want to gamble a little bit, go play bingo. But basically, I love that they don't have casinos. I think that that would be such a waste of space on a Disney cruise. Number 12 is that I think the kids clubs are for family time and not just babysitting. We love the open houses on the Disney cruises. It's one of our favorite things to do on a Disney cruise. When we get on a Disney cruise on embarkation day, it is the first place that we go, like after guest services, but it's like the first like main area that we go to. And then depending on which ship we're on, like the Magic, for example, my kids wanted to spend as much time as possible in Andy's room and in that kids club. So we really enjoyed doing that as a family activity versus dropping our kids off. And speaking of the kids clubs, I know everyone loves the kids clubs on the new ships, but I think that the kids club on the Magic is far, far, far better than the ones on the newer ships. I love Andy's room. I love that the slide is within the kids club versus being in the atrium and that you slide down to the kids club, because you can't go down it even during the open houses. You can go down it like the first day in the open house, but then they don't let you use it again, because how it works on the Triton class is that they have like different rooms open for the open houses. So you can go in like the Frozen themed room or Princess area, and you can go in the Marvel themed area or the Star Wars themed area like Cargo Bay there, but you can't have access to the slide. So whereas my kids, like I said, spent so much time at the kids club on the Magic during the open houses, they can't go down the slide during the other open houses, and it's so crowded on that first day. So really was not a fan of that. The next unpopular opinion or hot take that I have is to not go to eat as soon as you get on the ship. I know you probably want to go grab that soft serve or just like eat because that's what everybody tells you should do, but I definitely disagree there. I think you should get to guest services, rope drop the kids club if you have kids, and then head to the food, because it's always so much less crowded when you go a little bit later. If you go like 1 o'clock, 1:30, there's gonna be no lines for the food. So much better. Number 15, the pool deck food is hands down superior to the buffets on all classes of ship, except for the Adventure, because I've not been on that. But the other classes of ships, the pool deck food is amazing. I especially love Mickey's, why can't I think of it? Mickey's Festival Foods. But I like the food on the old ships too. The Magic has a shawarma that is chef's kiss, no notes, incredible. That might actually be my favorite thing that I've ever had on a Disney cruise. But love the pool deck food. I think the buffet is fine, and it's like good, but the pool deck food, like, oh my gosh, like blows it out of the water. Next up, number 16, I think that sitting down for the DVC talks are absolutely worth it. You get a freebie, and I love that we got a little Stitch like magnetic sit guide the last time. You get bottles of water that are complimentary, like real ones, like the metal ones with like the screw top. It's really great. So you also don't have to go the entire time. I think you have to go like at least half of it, and it has to be the second half. You'll get your ticket, you can get your little freebie, and I just think it's absolutely worth it. Plus it's just like kind of cool to like see what it's all about. And number 17, lanyards are overrated. I don't know why people have them. I just like, it boggles my mind. Johnny and I are always just like, who uses a lanyard? Like, don't you have a wallet or like a bag? I don't know. So we think the lanyards are way overrated. We just don't really get the purpose of them. If you disagree, let me know in the comments down below. But I always have like a fanny pack on me. So I don't know. I just don't need a lanyard. Plus like, I don't know, just how much stuff can you fit in there? Like, I would leave the lanyards at home. So now, which of my hot takes did you agree with, and which ones made you want to throw me overboard? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you do have an upcoming cruise this summer, click this video over here where I share with you all of my summer essentials for going on a Disney cruise. And with that, I'll see you guys real soon. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a thumbs up and a thumbs down for my hot takes.